just gives me chills. It gives me chills. We have Christie Simons from Atlanta Angels, the executive director for this amazing organization. I'm so glad that you got to see this house in its transition period. Because you've seen pictures, you've gotten some video, but there is nothing like walking the walk and meeting some of the crew that's out here. But most importantly, I really want to hear from you and your amazing servant heart, how you got involved, how you started Atlanta Angels.
You know, my husband and I are adoptive parents through foster care here in Georgia, and it was a really challenging, almost 3-year process that we walked through. That was, for sure, some of the hardest years of my life, and also, of course, the most incredible. We came out of it with our daughter Riley, who's 10 now, little rock star, just became state champion in gymnastics, like crushing on swim team. She's just the coolest. I always said, I want to be her when I grow up. A couple years post-adoption, we were taking her to a Braves game, and she literally is like dancing her way into the stadium.
Oh my gosh.
I was watching her and just reflecting on how glad I was that she gets to grow up with these memories and experiences. And then kind of immediately what came to mind were the thousands of kids in foster care whose stories are very different, who aren't in an adoptive home before age 1 and don't have this huge community and family surrounding them, and really wanted to do something about that.
We were unaware about the scope of our broken foster care system and how it impacts our local communities.
Over half of foster homes close in the first 6 months to a year of opening.
Wait, you're saying within 6 months after you've gone through that? How long is that process? A year?
It takes about 6 months to a year to open your home. So as quickly they're closing it. We see these really pretty heartbreaking statistics, right? Less than half are graduating from high school. About 3% make it to college. By 24, less than half are employed. And then kind of that backwards lens look is that over half of our homeless population, 75% of our prison population, and over 80% of trafficked individuals spend time in foster care. What is really encouraging is that our programs are working. We've had over the last 4 years a 98% foster parent retention rate in our Love Box program. An 89% high school graduation rate for our youth in Dare to Dream, and a much higher placement stability. Last year was over 90% for the kids in those Love Box homes. Nothing about either of our programs is really revolutionary. We really truly are just walking alongside these caregivers, but we're doing it in a way that's really relational, it's really empathetic, and it comes from a place of understanding the system. And I remember so clearly going to our first court date, and I'm there, I'm like, 8 a.m., yep, we're here for court, and we don't get called until 2 p.m. So we sat and waited for like 7 hours, and not having any idea what was going to happen that court date. The first time we go to court, we were told we might be bringing her home. We had her nursery ready, and then we were told no. And so we left with a lot of grief. 9 months later, we were told we definitely won't be bringing her home. And our lawyer pulls us outside and says, "You're taking her home today." We came not knowing that we were going home with our daughter that day. There's just these really simple ways that we can be there and check in with them, say, how are you doing? What can we do? Can we babysit? So it's really just wrapping community around those families. We have an old saying, we say, tell us what you do and we'll tell you how you can help, right? And a whole initiative called What's Your Thing? Not everyone's called to foster or adopt, but they might be able to walk alongside a kid as a mentor, right? Or come wrap support around a family on a monthly basis.
We can all make a difference in our own world in our own way. We can all impact somebody else's life. You are literally leading the charge on changing some major stats. And parents, I've got news for you. You are changing the world one child at a time.
You can do that in such, not that this is simple, but ways that align with what you're already doing, right? It doesn't require stepping outside of your kind of calling purpose.
When we just adopt that, pun intended, adopt that mindset of living your life with purpose, it makes all of the difference. And we truly can collectively change the world.